Yuhantah pravishyamavachim mam prasuptam sanjeevayatyakhilashakti-dharasvadhamna anyam sahasracharana-shravanatvagadin pranam namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam yam gurum hi swayam satyaha prajna bhakti vinitayaha vihittischapi vrata nityam gam gurum pranamamyaham sadashivasamarambham Śaṅkara-bhagavatpāda अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. 18. Start. Ihayahi vatseti hastan prasaryaह्वयत्यादरात् Śaṅkare maduranga samutpatyatatam shrayantam kumaram haraśliष्टगात्रं भजे बालमूर्तिं कुमारेशसूनो गुहस्कन्दसेनापते शक्तिपाणे मयूराधिरूढा पुलिन्दात्मजा कान्तभक्तार्तिहारिन् प्रभोतारकारे सदा रक्ष मां त्वम् प्रशान्तेन्द्रिये नष्टसंज्ञे विचेष्टे कफोद्गारिवक्त्रे भयोत्कम्पिगात्रे प्रयाणोन्मुखे मय्यनाथे तदानीं द्रुतं मे दयालो भवाग्रे गुहत्वम् कृतान्तस्य दूतेषु चण्डेषु कोपात् दहच्छिन्धि भिन्धीति मां तर्जयत्सु मयूरं समारुह्य माभैरिति त्वं पुरःशक्तिपाणिर्ममायाहि शीघ्रम् प्रणम्यासकृत्पादयोस्ते पतित्वा प्रसाद्य प्रभो प्रार्थयेनेकवारम् न वक्तुं क्षमोऽहं तदानीं कृपाब्धे न कार्यान्तकाले मनागप्युपेक्षा. We read up to this. So na karyantakale managapyupeksha. So this apeksha, upeksha, they are opposite terms. So upeksha is indifference. So karyantakale managapi. So when my body is going to disintegrate, so this is karyantakale. So this karya can be understood as sharira. Karya can be considered as activities, but activities cannot be performed without sharira. So karyasya anta means, so the activity completely ceases. The activity can be physical activity, activity can be mental activity, activity can be involuntary activities. So one of the most involuntary activity is prana. So that ceases. So karyasya antakale, when that is going to cease once and for all, managapyupeksha, may you don't kindly ignore me. So please come and appear in front of me. Nakaryantakale managapyupeksha. See, prayanakale manasachalena bhaktya yukto yogabalena chaiva bhruvor madhye pranamaveshya samyak. So this is how people say prayanakale manasa achalena. So that is going to be only possible for a yogi, not for normal people. So at least a particular sight, if it comes, so then, so perhaps that will be a great blessing instead of having various kinds of fears at the end of the sharira. So therefore he is praying. So there is a, I told you in the last class, appode kippode solli vaithe. So I may not be able to share what I want to share in the last moments. Therefore I am saying it right now when I am conscious, when my consciousness is under my control. Okay. Na karyanta kale managapyupeksha. Then we have new verse. Sahasranda bhokta tvaya shuranama. Sahasranda bhokta tvaya shuranama. Sahasranda bhokta tvaya shuranama. Hatastaraka simha vaktrascha daityaha.
Hatastaraka
Simha vaktrascha daityaha. Hatastaraka simha vaktrascha daityaha. Mamantar hridistham manah kleshamekam. Mamantar hridistham manah kleshamekam. Mamantar hridistham manah kleshamekam. Nahamsi prabho kim karomi kvayami. Nahamsi prabho kim karomi kvayami. Nahamsi prabho kim karomi kvayami. So kvayami, kvayami. So it is not one word. Okay. So suppose we have ahvayami. It looks like hvayami. So it is not like that. Kvayami. It is not. Kvayami. Yami means gachami. So where do I go? Okay. Yati, yataha, yanti. Okay. Yati. So this prayati means prakarshena yati. Once and for all he leaves. Prayati means he dies. Okay. Prakarshena yati, prayati. Now here he says kvayami. Where do I go? Nahamsi prabho. See, hamsi. Hamsi means, so you destroy it. Okay. Hamsi. So hanudhat. Okay. Hana himsayam. So here he says mamantar hridistham manah klesham ekam. Okay. So manah klesham ekam. Ekam is temporarily ekam. It is anekam. So klesha is of various types. We have this, no? What is it? We have in Yoga Sutra, we have klesha. Avidya, smita, raga, dvesha, vinivesha, klesha. Repeat. Avidya, smita, raga, dvesha, vinivesha, klesha. In Yoga Sutra, we have beautifully classified this klesha. Klesha into 5 types. Avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha. Okay. So avidya, in fact the sutra goes avidya kshetram uttaresham. So avidya is the cause for the later parts. In fact in Bhagavad Gita we have beautiful statement. See, raga dvesha viyuktaistu vishayan indriyaischaran atmavashir vidheyatma prasadam adhigacchati. In fact, though Yoga Sutra states this klesha to be of 5 varieties, the most important are 2. Of course, everything is connected. That is why in Bhagavad Gita he says ragadvesha viyuktaistu vishayan indriyaischaran atmavashir vidheyatma prasadam adhigacchati. Prasadam adhigacchati means he is at peace with himself all the time. Not being at peace with oneself. See, not being at peace with oneself can be because of various reasons. My daughter is like this, my son is like this, my boss is like this, my wife is like this, whatever it is. Okay. So they cannot be at peace with themselves. They are continuously bothered. Okay. So then his chitta is aprasanna. Understand? So prasadam na adhigacchati. See, aprasanna chitto bhavati. This aprasannatvam is not something which can be easily hidden. It exhibits itself in the face. aprasannatvam exhibits itself in the facial expression mostly. So sometimes facially, sometimes orally. So this also I have seen. So pretending does not help. Okay, the words will sometimes reveal. Okay? This also happens. But prasanna chetaso hyashu buddhihi paryavatishthati. That's what Bhagavad Gita says. So if you are prasanna chitta, then the mind functions properly. Aprasanna chitta, mind does not function properly. It gets cluttered, no clarity. Now here he says, mamantal hridistham manah kleshamekam. Okay. So this klesha, ekam, is, as a category, it is eka. You understand? So manah klesha. So if you look at this, avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha. So this klesha can be either physical or mental. Understand? Broadly dividing. So it can be physical affliction, mental affliction. So this avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha have to do with the mental process. Vyadhi is another thing which has to do with the physical problem. Okay. So this avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha. This raga, dvesha are natural, but they have to be kept under control. See? So ragadvesha viyuktaistu vishayanu indriyaischaran. Viyuktaha means, so he should not be driven by them. Okay, he should not be driven by them. It's not that they will not come to you at all. They will be there, but you should not be driven. So here, if you look at raga, dvesha, avidya, asmita, asmita is this Sankara kind of a thing, feeling. Okay? A sense of great accomplishment, which makes you feel that everybody has to respect. And if it does not happen, it results in klesha. Most of these things, by virtue of presence, they don't bother. By virtue of the result that they produce, they bother you. Okay? So therefore, their presence has to be sort of eliminated and carefully taken. Now, mamanta hridistham manah kleshamekam. See, jatya ekatva. Manah jatya means that klesha jati. It can be raga sometimes, which kills you. Dvesha sometimes, which kills you. Asmita sometimes kills you. Avidya also kills off, obviously. Okay. So abhinivesha, anyway, it not only kills oneself, it kills others also. So this abhinivesha is the worst case. Anyway, ragadvesha viyuktaistu. That is why Bhagavan said that. Now he is saying that klesha, may you try to kill it. See, if you bless me, then I will be rid of kleshas. So that is where Bhagavan, whatever he says, viyuktaistu vishayan indriyaischaran. So may you take away the kleshas. So it is not in my hands. Therefore, you pray to Subrahmanya that may you finish the kleshas in my heart. Mamantar hridistham manah kleshamekam. You please do that. If you don't do that, see, nahamsi prabho, I have completely surrendered myself to you. If you do not eradicate that klesha, kim karomi, what am I to do? Kvayami, where do I go and seek for help? So this is a very beautiful poetic construction because Kvayami, he is saying. No, if Subrahmanya is not there, why don't you go to Ganapati? If he is not there, why don't you go to Durga? If he is not there, why don't you go to Vishnu? So here the poet says, the poet in Śaṅkara says, see, you are the supreme God. Why? Sahasranda bhokta tvaya shuranama hatastarakaha Simhavaktrasya Daityaha. So that is the necessary background that he builds to later say, Koyami, where do I go? So the whole episode, if you look at the Subrahmanya-avatara, so this Asura was totally uncontrollable. All devatas failed. And therefore they wanted Subrahmanya to come and then finish this fellow. So when all devatas have become powerless in extinguishing this fellow, and you had to come. Okay. So you killed Shuranama. Shuranama means Shuraiti Nama Yasya Saha. Understand? Shuraiti Nama Yasya Saha. The one who has the name Shura. In Tamil they say Shura Padman. Okay. So Sahasranda-bhukta. So how was he? He was so powerful that he had the control of all the universes with him. The Sahasra is a Upalakshana. Okay. Sahasranda. Anda means you can think of universe. Sahasranda-bhukta. Bhukta means he was the sole enjoyer. Means he had control over all the universes. Sahasranda-bhukta. Tvaya Shuranama Hataha. Tvaya Hataha means he was slayed by you. Okay, who was slayed by you? The one who was ruling all thousands of universes. Sahasranda-bhukta Tvaya Shuranama Hataha. Not only him. Tarakaha Simhavaktrasya Daityaha. Daityaha means Asuraha. Okay. Ditehe Jataha Daityaha. Okay. Diter Bhavaha Daityaha. So here Daityaha, these demons. Okay. So these demons are Dambho Darpo Bhimanascha Krodhav Parushyam-evacha. This is how the qualities of demons are described. Dambho Darpaha Abhimanascha Krodhav Parushyam-evacha. So this Daitya was finished by you. Who was finished? Shuranama Hataha. Tarakaha Hataha. Simhavaktrascha Hataha. Vaktram means Mukham. So one who had the lion's face. Singamugasura. I have heard these stories long back. This Shurapadman. Okay. So, Hatas Tarakaha Simhavaktrasya, Tarakasura, Simhavaktrasura, and Shurasura. Okay. Shurapadmasura. So, here the whole idea is, so you have been declared by all devatas as the supreme deity. And you are the most powerful who has been able to slay the most powerful daityas. And if you are not able to get rid of, okay, the afflictions that I have, manah-klesha, then where do I go? I've been just praying. Okay, read. Sahasranda-bhukta tvaya Shuranama Hatastarakassimhavaktrasya Daityaha Mamantarhridistham manah-kleshamekam Nahamsi prabho kim karomi kvayami Aham sarvada dukkha bharavasannaha Aham sarvada dukkha bharavasannaha Aham sarvada dukkha bharavasannaha Bhavan dina bandhuhu Bhavan dina bandhuhu Bhavan dina bandhuhu Tvadanyam nayache Tvadanyam nayache Tvadanyam nayache Bhavad bhaktirodham Bhavad bhaktirodham Bhavad bhaktirodham Sada kliptabadham Sada kliptabadham Sada kliptabadham Mamadhim drutam, Mamadhim drutam, Mamadhim drutam, Nashayo ma sutattvam, Nashayo ma sutattvam, Nashayo ma sutattvam. He Umasuta, Umasuta, Tvam Nashaya, Tvam Nashaya. May you destroy. Kim Nashaya? Mama Adhim Nashaya. Okay. Mama Adhim Nashaya. And he further says, Dhrutam Nashaya. Okay. You quickly finish. Okay. Quickly finish all my afflictions. Mamadhim Dhrutam Nashayo ma sutattvam. So before that he says Bhavad Bhakti Rodham Sada Klipta Badham. So these two terms are basically adjectives too. They are qualifying this Adhi. So Adhim Kidrisham. So there he says Bhakti Rodham Sada Klipta Badham. So in this verse we find these two words. They essentially mean one and the same. Sada Sarvada. Okay. Sada Sarvada. Okay. Aham Sarvada Dukkha Bhara Vasanna. So that is how he begins the verse. So what is my status? Sarvada Dukkha Bhara Vasanna. So one way to describe me is one who is always plunged in sorrow. Okay? Always plunged in sorrow. Sarvada Dukkha Bharena Avasanna. Dukkha Bhara Avasanna. Okay? Avasannaha is an interesting usage. Okay? Avasannaha. Avasannaha, in fact, we have, see, in Bhamati, so I was reading with June. Avasannaha, avamatova, bhasaha, avabhasaha. So there he says, this is an interesting usage. Avasannaha, avamatova, bhasaha. Okay? Avasannaha means that which is struck down. Okay? This is what is avasanna. So in fact, it comes from the dhatu, sadhu. See?
So the asana and this asana.
Sadhu, asannaha is different. Okay? So asannaha, avasannaha is, see, ava sadhu, okay, then kta pratyaya. Sadru, shadlu, visharana gatyavasadayo. So Visharana Gatyavasadayo. That is how the dhatu is. In fact, this is quoted even by Bhagavatpada somewhere while describing the term Upanishad. So Upanishad also same dhatu. Okay. Upani. These are prefixes there. Okay. Upani Sadhu. Okay. So anyway, that is how the word derives. Avasannaha means that which is knocked off. I am knocked off. Avasannaha. Aham sarvada avasannaha. Kena avasannaha. Dukkha bharena avasannaha. I am struck down by the burden of dukkha. Sarvada. He says, Aham sarvada dukkha bhara avasannaha. On the other hand, Bhavan Dina Bandhuhu. I have heard from people. So Dinaha means one who needs help is Dinaha. Okay? One who is in need of help. Okay? So Dinaha, so pitiable. So I mean a pitiable condition. And you are Bandhu. So you are the most reliable Bandhu. So the other Bandhus will take opportunity. When you are keeping well, they will come to you. when you are in bad situation, they will run away from you. So this is what happens. On the other hand, Bhavan Dina Bandhu, not Pina Bandhu. See, this is Pina Bandhu means so one who is keeping well, Tasya Bandhu. So many people will be. Pina means normally fat. Okay, this fatness can be either rich, wealth, position, whatever. Okay, if you are fat, they will be Bandhu. If you become thin, then they will become Abandhu, Amitra. So here, this Bhavan, Dina, Bandhu, who you are known to be only favoring those people. Tvadanyam nayache. See, I am totally faithful. Tvadanyam nayache. So I have completely surrendered myself unto you. And therefore, he says, Mamadhim Drutam Nashaya. This Adhim Nashaya, Drutam Nashaya, Bhakti Rodham Sada Klipta Badham. So, what is the problem? May you have Adhi. Anyway, you have to face the karma phala. But the problem is, he says, Bhakti Rodham. Okay? Even if I am healthy, if I sit to chant some stotra, my mind goes everywhere. Okay, if I have headache, okay, so I cannot even concentrate, I cannot even sit. If I have stomach ache, okay. So these are all various kinds of problems which will not even let you sit. In fact, I have a very good friend. This friend, he was very, very bright. He could not study, but he was a very bright person. So he could just clear bachelor's, then he had to get into job. And with this bachelor's, I mean, he was immediately made the general manager of the company. Okay, he was so bright that after some time, so he was initially in charge of marketing, and then he was made GM very soon. His company. So somehow, at some stage, he felt, maybe he was maybe close to 40 or whatever, he felt that this company thing doesn't really fit me well. So even as, then he used to come and study. So we used to study Bhagavad Gita with my father. So he wanted to study Bhagavad Gita, entire Bhashya. After the company will come in the evening, 7:30, some half an hour, 1 hour, Patha will be there. I used to sit for some time. Then itself he used to say, this is about 25 years back, to maybe much more, 30 years back. So he used to say, see, that I am in the marketing division. So I have to, as a marketing manager, I have to promote this product. So this somehow, when I read Bhagavad Gita, it hurts me. So I have to declare this product which is not so great as the greatest product. So this doesn't somehow help me. There was a conflict which he was. Anyway, after earning some money, so he felt that this is enough for me. So I just retired. And then he wanted to, he is a practicing yoga. He does a lot of dhyana. But then after a few years, so somehow he developed this the self-immune disease or whatever it is. So every joint will pain. So extremely painful. So then he used to say, I used to do a lot of dhyana, I used to get completely submerged in that for hours. But now this does not allow. See, this vyadhi. So deep the pain is that it does not allow me to sit. So earlier I used to do all asana bandhas. Now I have to sit in chair. Even sitting in chair is okay, but then other pains keep perennially bothering me. So that's why he's saying Bhakti Rodham. See? So Bhakti Rodham means even if I want to focus something, render a stotra with attention, the body takes away my attention. Okay? That is why he is saying Adhim Drutam Nashaya. In fact, you will see in the entire Narayaniyam, every Dashaka will end. Okay? Saying that please remove this ailment from me because this is a source of disturbance for me. So, bhavad bhakti rodham. So, how do we understand the word rodham? Runadhiti. Okay, runadhi means stops. Bhaktim runadhi. Iti bhakti rodha. Okay, bhavad bhakti rodham. Then he says sada klipta badham. See, temporarily it does, then it is okay. But it is forever with me. So that is why I was reminded of my friend. All the time problem. But still he manages, he just maintains the cheerfulness. So when he comes, so you will see as if a tapasvi has come. That kind of a indriya nigraha. So that manah prashanti. So bhavad bhakti rodham sada klipta badham. Klipta means it is known, it is well established that it is going to create trouble to me. Badha. Badha is an obstacle. Okay. Bhakti rodham sada klipta badham. See, kliptaha badhaha yes. So klipta badham. Okay. So kliptam kalpyam. It is not something which has to be created later, but it is well established. Sada klipta badham mamadhim drutam nashayoma sutattvam. So this is this friend's case is with respect to the physical ailment. There are some people who have this mental ailment. The mental ailment, I'll tell you, last year when I went to this US in the summer, okay, so one lady came to me and then during the lunch time she said, I want to talk to you. She was talking to me. Okay. They're all fairly well settled, established and so on. But then she said, so my two daughters, so till they were 12, 13, they were listening to me and I trained them in Sangeeta, Natya, all our culture, all that. Now, by the time they are out of this graduation, they are totally out of control. They have gone against me, against our culture. Okay. So, this some kind of a influence. See, this culture is all totally meaningless. All these practices you are doing is all stupid. So that kind of a feeling has come. And not only that, she said, they have joined some movement which speaks ill of the Indian culture. And it also speaks of that the Brahmins are responsible for all the downfall, all the problems, etc. That kind of a group is also there. Somehow they got sucked into the group. She said both daughters. So this is sada klipta badham. Understand? Sada klipta badham. She was just literally weeping for half an hour. What to do? I said nothing can be done. What do I do? See, எங்க பாட்டி ஒன்று சொல்லுவா. My grandmother used to say. So when you try to dry your dhoti, so in those days, so you don't have all this. Wherever you go, they will have very minimal resources. So you will go and tie somewhere. Understand? So when you tie, you have to be carefully tying. This fellow went and tied somewhere. So the dhoti got stuck in the thorn bush. So he tried to pull out the dhoti. So mullu mele vesti pota. What can you do? You can't do anything. So it is so thorny, that bush. When the wind was blowing, it got stuck into that. Okay, these thorns will be in different directions. If you pull one, the other will so thorny. So that is what I got reminded of when that lady was telling. So you have put into some situation, so where you cannot escape out. So bhavad bhakti rodham sada klipta badham mamadhim drutam. I said only way is forget it. Nashayoma sutattvam. Rahanta mamata. So you have to go to Vedanta. It is all. So you have to elevate yourself. Okay. So this is what it is. In fact, that is why we have the sutra. No? The sutra in Yoga Sutra, that sutra lists all things together. See, Vyadhisthana Samshaya, Labdha Bhumikatvanavasthitattvani, Chitta Vikshepa, Te Antaraya means essentially this Badha. Badha and Antaraya are one and the same. Antaraya means something which obstructs, obstacle. So there he lists, you see, Vyadhi, Sthana, Samshaya, Pramada, Alasya, Avirati, Bhranti Darshana, Alabdha Bhumikatva, Anavasthitatva. See, 9 things are listed as Antaraya. So, Kasya Antarayaha, Jnanasya Antarayaha, Bhaktehe Antarayaha, Chitta Prasadasya Antarayaha. Understand? So, this Bhakti, Dhyana, etc. are all meant for Chitta Prasada, ultimately. So, this Vyadhi is physical. Understand? Vyadhi is physical. That's what I say. The other things are all more or less mental. See, Vyadhi. So, Vyadhi, see, Vyadhi, in fact, in scriptures, they will beautifully define. See, so Vyadhi is essentially Vaishamya. Kasya Vaishamyam Dhatoho Rasasya Karanasya Cha. This is what is Vyadhi. See, Dhatu Vaishamya. Vaishamya means Vishamasya Bhavaha Vaishamya. Not being in the equilibrium state. Okay, whatever it has to be. It not being in the natural state is Vaishamya. Vishamasya Bhavaha. Sama Vishama. So, Vishamasya Bhavaha Vaishamya. Dhatoho Vaishamya means certain, Dhatu essentially refers to in the Sharira. In Ayurvedic discipline, they will call as Dhatu is essentially Kaphavata Pitta. Okay, so Kaphavata Pittanam Samatvam. Okay, they have to be in some sort of equilibrium with each other. Then you are healthy. In fact, once my mother was saying to a doctor, of course she has this cough and this thing, so this running nose, some kapha. So I want to completely get rid of. She was just saying, no, that has to be there in some amount, the nose. Otherwise, nose will become so dry. See, that has to be there in some measure. Okay, but anything excess, there is a problem. So insufficient, there is a problem. That is why samatva. So dhatoho samatva. Rasasya samatvam is, this rasa essentially is a term that is used to refer to the essence that is generated out of whatever we eat. Understand? So ahara goes in 3 forms. Right? Some solid, some liquid, some various things. And of course, in ahara we have various kinds of rasas. That is different. That rasa is different from this rasa. So one rasam is whatever you say, rasam, that was brought by Nagendra. So that is one rasa. The other rasa is Mathura rasa, Tiksa, Lavana, Katukashaya. Deepavali is coming tomorrow. So we make all kinds of things. That is another rasa. This rasa that we are talking of is the rasa generated out of these rasas. So the rasa is that essence. In fact, we use the word rasa to refer to even the Brahma. Raso Vaisaha. There is another rasa, Śaṅkara-bhagavatpada, Haruna, Raidra, Veera, Bhayanakaha. Okay, there is another kind of a rasa, Śaṅkara rasa, Hasya rasa, Karuna rasa. So that has to do with the emotional state of the mind. So here this has to do with, this rasa has to do with the essence that is generated out of the processing which is circulated to the body. That is rasa. Okay. So when it processes, if it emits something little more, then you become diabetes. If it has something else, this is so it has to process and flush out the rest. Whatever you consume, okay, so it has to process and flush out the rest. So when that imbalance happens, this Vaishamya is imbalance in that. Okay, then you have this problem. Our system has a way to flush out things. So that is why if it fails, then your consumption has to be modified. You should not take sugar, you should not take dahi, you should not take this. But if this is functioning properly, then you can take anything. So the system takes care. So that is why, so this dhatu, rasa, and of course even the indriya, karana vaishamyam. Karana vaishamyam is, so this improper functioning of the sense organs. Okay. So suppose I want to lift something, my hand has to give enough. Suppose I want to see something, my eye has to. So Vaishamyam means short sight, long sight, no sight, whatever. So all this can happen. Okay. So Dhatu Vaishamyam. So see, eyes have to function in such a way that when the light is more, it has to filter out. Light is less, it has to pick up. So all these things are there. So this is what is Vyadhi. Vyadhi means, so either in sense organs or in motor organs or in other things. So this Vaishamyam is this. See, Styanam, that is another problem. What is Sthana? Remember?
Idleness.
Idleness. Okay. Akarmanyata chittasya. See, chittasya akarmanyata. Chittasya akarmanyata means the mind does not allow me to set into action. To set into action. This I feel so fatigued. I am so tired today. I have seen these young people. They do nothing. When you say something, why don't you do this? I am so tired. Then I am so tired. Yeah, chittasya akarmanyata. Okay. So that does not cooperate to get into action. So when there is enthusiasm, all this is gone. Okay. So that desire to do, chikirsha is not there. You want to avoid, so you find some excuse. Okay. This is what Vyadhi, Sthana, Samshaya. This is another problem. Samshaya. That is why Bhagavan said Samshayatma Vinashyati. The Samshayatma means essentially this fellow is unable to take decision. Idam evam syat, naivam syat. Idam evam syat means this is how this will be. Okay. This also tells me this is how it will be. Naivam syat, no, it will not be. So you can have, everywhere you have this samshaya possible. Okay. So this one extreme case. So my father said, maybe true. Possibly true only. So in those days, you may be saying this post boxes. Nowadays, nobody knows post boxes. Okay. All email goes. So this post boxes may not be nearby. You may have to go some distance and then post it and come. So one person had to post something important some later. He is an old man. He felt that it may be easy to send some boy to do this. But then, after sending with the boy, he had this samshaya. Will this fellow properly put or not? If he puts it outside, you have to put it. So he goes behind. this is samshaya. Idam evam syat. Naivam syat. This buddhi. So this will be there. See, so should I invest in this or not? Should I purchase this bungalow or not? So many things are there. This samshaya. Okay. So should I marry her? Some fellow was asking me, sir, should I marry or not? So this samshaya, samshayatma vinashyati. So vyadhi, samshaya is a problem of chitta. You have to be this, that's all. Just take one decision. So whatever comes is Ishvara prasada. So this vyadhisthana samshaya. Then we have pramada. Pramada, no? Pramada. There is one pramada. This also you should know. This is klesha is of various types. That is why. And this is always a badha. Sarvada dukha bharaha. That is why he said. Okay. So this has been beautifully said. Pramada. So pramada in Sanskrit means anavadhanata. Pramadaha anavadhanata. Anavadhanata means not being attentive, not being careful, careless. This is what is anavadhanata. This anavadhanata, see, not only in executing a certain activity or listening to something carefully, this is to be taken in a much broader sense. So in the context of yoga, anavadhanata, so essentially means, see, for samadhi, there are certain practices to be observed by you. Okay? So practices to be observed. See, samadhi sadhananam abhavanam. Samadhi sadhana bhavanam. This is what is anavadhanata. Samadhi is, as I told you, is able to have a certain control, certain peace in mind. This is called samadhi. Okay? Samyak adhiyate chitta. This can be at the lowest level of activity. Okay, cooking, so milk. So suddenly some thought comes, you come away, the milk goes out. Okay, sometimes you leave the milk and then go, it will boil, and the vessel will get charred. So not only milk, vessel also gets charred. Once and for all, it turns black. So once it happened, only once. Okay, for the past 25 years. Kept the milk and went. Afternoon I come, I cannot enter my house. Okay, anyway. So, vyadhi, sthana, samshaya, pramada. Pramadaha is anavadhanata. This anavadhanata is, see, certain practices have to be necessarily done by us in order to see that the body is functioning properly. It may have to do something physical, it may have to do something mental. Both practices are essential. A certain discipline is essential. So, not paying attention to those things which will lead you to this prasada and samadhi is anavadhanata. Anyway, we have a beautiful verse. Neither overdone nor underdone. Overdoing is also not acceptable. Underdoing is also not acceptable. Either way, it is anavadhanata. Pramadaha, mistake. So in that we read that, no? This apikriyartham sulabham samitkusham phala jalanyapi snana vidhikshamanite api svashaktya tapasi pravartase shariramadyam khalu dharma sadhanam. It's a beautiful statement of Kalidasa. I have heard this long back. This shariramadyam khalu dharma sadhanam. So dharma sadhanam means even if you want to do something good, so this body should cooperate with you. Shariram adyam dharma sadhanam. So you may have wealth, you may have power, you may have certain position by which you will be able to get more people inducted into an activity. This is all dharma sadhanam. The wealth is a dharma sadhanam, your influence is dharma sadhanam, your power is dharma sadhanam. But shariram adyam dharma sadhanam. You may have all that, but your body does not cooperate, nothing can be done. Therefore, Kalidasa somewhere beautifully, see, he gives very powerful messages in between somewhere. So there, in the way of questioning this Parvati doing tapas, api svashaktya tapasi pravartasi. Svashaktya tapasi pravartasi means knowing your capacity, how much can be engaged. So are you doing this activity? So if you don't do this, then anavadhanata pramadaha. Api svashaktya tapasi pravartase shariramadhyam khalu dharma sadhanam. Anyway, pramadaha essentially means that, okay, being careless. Being careless in doing excessive activity, okay, or not at all doing. That is problem. So Vyadhi, Jnana, Samshaya, Pramada, Alasya is another kind of a problem. Okay. This is generally we understand. So laziness. So Alasyam. So this Alasyam, they will usually say, this Alasyam is, there is a certain feeling with this fellow. Okay. That feeling does not make him get up. You understand? This is Sharirasya Gurutvam, Manasaha Gurutvam, both ways. The Sharirasya Gurutvam need not necessarily be heavy built. But Alasyam is a different thing. There is a feeling that he cannot do. You understand? That is what is called Gurutvam. Okay. So that again is caused by some Dhatu Vaishamya. Okay. Sharirasya Gurutvam. This is Manasaha Gurutvam is also possible. Okay. So both generates this Alasya. This task is too heavy. So you have a feeling. Therefore I should not. So one of my students is like that. He is capable of doing that. But somehow this Manasaha Gurutvam. Oh no, this is too difficult, too difficult. You keep watching all the time. News all over the world. Okay. That is not Guru. If you put 20% of that time, then you can finish this. But the Manasaha Gurutvam, that does not get him to do that. This is what is Alasya. Pramada, Alasya, Avirati. See, Aviratihi. Viratihi means rest. Okay. Aviratihi means restlessness. This restlessness, that is what most people have. So they have to keep seeing. He can't close his eyes and then sit. So this is both in terms of, see, engaging in various activities to achieve something. It is like this, see, Viratihi, suppose you study here. Okay. You study here. And then after studying, you get some package, let us say 30 lakhs, 40 lakhs, whatever. Okay. So when you get 40, you want to get 60. When you get 60, you want to get 1 crore. When you want to get, so this, where does it end? This is one kind of avirati. Understand? That I have to get more and more and more in terms of package. This is one kind of avirati. Another kind of avirati can be, so in terms of eating. So today I ate here, tomorrow I want to eat there, tomorrow I want to eat there. You go on and on. Okay, I want to taste everything in the world. Okay, this is another kind of avirati. Gridha. This is essentially avirati is due to greedy. Greedy attitude is essentially resulting in avirati. More. That greed makes you restless fellow. Okay. So avirati, Bhranti darshanam. Bhranti darshanam is, he is not endowed with the capacity to see the right thing. Okay. So Bhranti, he gets illusioned. Okay. Unable to have that viveka to make the right judgment. Okay. Bhranti darshanam. Okay. This is that. Then we have another dosha, alabdha bhumikatvam. Labdha bhumihi. Labdha bhumihi. See, bhumihi here means not acquiring some land. See, so bhumihi essentially means some stage. See, some stage of acquiring a certain ability to control your mind. There are different bhumis they talk about. See, you are able to, sometimes you are able to see for 2 minutes, sometimes you are able to see for 20 seconds, sometimes you are able to focus with one particular thought, so sometimes you are able to be thoughtless, seeing some jyoti. There are various kinds of bhumis that they talk about. Okay? So these are, he cannot reach any level. Alabdha bhumikatvam. This is what is alabdha bhumikatvam. So reaching a certain state of tranquility and stability of the mind. Okay. So this is not there. This is another problem. Then anavasthitatvam. So doesn't even come to that state is one problem. And sometimes it comes, but it does not stay. Okay. So alabdha bhumikatvam, anavasthitatvam. See, anavastha means endless. Endless is one kind of anavastha. So here, not being stable. Avasthitatvam means being stable somewhere. In fact, recently I had an occasion to be in some yoga class somewhere. Okay. That lady was quoting one thing from Mandukya-karika. He was saying it is a mantra. That is essentially laye sambodhaye chittam vikshiptam shamayet punaha sakashayam bijaniyat samapraptam nachalayet. He perhaps does not even know the import of it. Somebody would have taught. So I quickly realized that it is from Mandukya-karika. So there he is beautifully giving you how you can try to process your mind. Okay. What are the, broadly dividing, he is just saying, laya. Okay. What happens is, some people have this state of laya, even in the class. So eyes will sink, the body will also start sinking. So this is laya, getting into some avastha. So laye sambodhaye chittam, okay, chittam vikshiptam shamayet punaha. So this laya can be understood in multiple stages. See, srishti, sthiti, laya we see. Laya means something going, perishing kind of a thing. So when you have that state, see that this is gone, that kind of thing. Sambodhayet, means you take it out. Okay, sitting for dhyana, so they may start sleeping. Okay, closing the eyes means. Sambodhayet, chittam, vikshiptam, when it gets disturbed. Okay, vikshiptam, shamayet punaha. Shamayet means may you bring it back. So the vikshiptam means I have to have. It can be either in the forms of greed or it can be in the form of uncontrolled movement to the mind. Shamayet punaha. So you try to bring it back. Vikshiptam, samap. Then, so this is the nature of buddhi. You have to understand. Laye sambodhaye chittam vikshiptam shamayet punaha sakashayam bijaniyat. This is a very important thing to understand. Beautiful philosophy, psychology also. See, you cannot just because these things are happening. So you cannot just immediately come to conclusion though it is impossible task for me. So sakashayam bijaniyat means there are certain things which have to be eliminated by you by carefully following something. So sakashayam means it has already some mala. May you understand that it is happening because of some kind of a mala. If you understand this, then whatever is to be done, so to eliminate that mala, you will do. Okay? So then only you can engage in process. Otherwise it is impossible. Then he says, samapraptam nachalayeti. This is how. So there are beautiful stages. Also, all these things have been so kept in mind is what I would just say. See, these are things which are to be known. Bhavad bhakti rodham sada klipta badham. This sada klipta badham can be due to any of these things that we just stated now. These are all antarayas. Sada klipta badham mamadhim drutam. So therefore, you pray to him and surrender it to Lord. Drutam nashaya. Whatever be the kind of obstacles that I am facing, may you kindly eliminate. So this is what one calls as the grace. Seeking the grace. Understand? So by developing a certain attitude, certain things transform. That attitude is very important. Okay? So that is how this culture has learned over hundreds and thousands of years and suggested that these are the means that you can adopt. Let us read. Aham sarvada dukkha bhara vasannaha bhavan dina bandhustvadanyam nayache bhavad bhakti rodham sada klipta badham mamadhim drutam nashayo masutatvam. Om Sarve Sukhina Santu, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhakavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.